Welcome into Husker Women's Wednesday, powered by Emeritus. I'm Jessica Coody, and super excited for today's conversation. You want to talk about an athlete that is multi-talented. She's here with us in studio. Kylee Magee, a pitcher for Nebraska softball, also quite the career blooming in fashion as well. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, you have a lot of interest outside of softball, which I want to dive into, but also get to know you as a student athlete here at Nebraska. But you transferred in here from California. Take me back to your first, kind of when you entered the portal, what you were looking for and why you landed on Nebraska.
I was super stressed out when I entered the portal. I have a bum wrist, so that wasn't fun. And I also had to find my major and stuff like that. But honestly, I think I just needed coaches that believed in me and coaches that I was already familiar with. So I think I made that mistake at my last place, and I knew I didn't really want to make that mistake again. And so luckily I found that.
What was it about these coaches that they knew you that you felt comfortable with this staff?
They've just been watching me forever. I mean, they recruit a lot of my teammates from travel ball, and so they weren't necessarily watching me, but they're always there watching my other players. So I felt like that was already like a comfort zone thing, and just knowing how long they've been coaching for, how long they've been here, and like just what everyone has said about them. And I think when Coach Miller reached out to me, it just felt like home. So, yeah.
And you were teammates with Sammy Bland, who we've had on the podcast recently, and she said she was super excited when you decided to come here to Nebraska.
Yeah, I was excited to play with all of them. Dakota and Kate, I both played with them on the Angels, and Sammy. So I'm really glad that they reached out, and Sammy was like talking with me when I was in the portal, like, "Hi, you just gotta come, and we're so excited to have you." And I don't know, I think I also wanted to play with girls that I played with before, because I think they would remind me of home a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure. And there's something about that Cali pipeline from California to Nebraska here with Husker softball. You guys seem to fit right in and feel at home. What is it about that you're so far away from home, but you feel at home?
I have no idea. I don't know if it's just because all of our alumni from our travel ball team have kind of come here, and I don't really know what it is, but I think we just love it. But also, we have so many girls from Nebraska that are on the team, which I think is pretty cool too. Because I think a lot of times in college you see it's either like maybe girls coming from California or Texas on like none of those states' teams. And so I was like looking at our lineup the other day, and it's like a majority of the girls are from Nebraska, which I think is really awesome too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're coming off the injury. You had said that. How are you feeling? How are you progressing? Because I know it's quite the process dealing with the wrist and getting back to it.
Yeah, so I definitely thought the hardest part would be like the surgery, but it's not. Hardest part is definitely getting back, but I think it's a fun journey, and it doesn't feel fun, when you're going through it, but I think it's something that I had to experience, and my wrist is feeling better, and all I have to do really now is just like strengthen it and get it stronger, because there's no pain, so that's good.
Why pitching for you?
Oh, I've done it since I was little, and I think it's what made me feel like I was having the most fun out there. And I think it brings out like my competitive side, and it helps with my focus. And yeah, I just like having the ball in my hands.
Yeah, for sure. Did you have to, I guess, did it teach you some patience coming back from the injury, knowing that you had to let your body heal and just do what you needed to do to be able to be back fully healthy?
Yeah, it's still teaching me patience. Literally every day it teaches me patience, and it's really hard being patient when you're thrown in and it's the beginning of season started. So I think I was just putting way too much pressure on myself, and I kind of just had to back up and learn how to be patient with myself, because I've never gone through this before, and hopefully I never have to again. But yeah, I think it's a very valuable lesson that it taught me. So.
How nice is it to have a staff around you that, I mean, obviously Jordy Ball, but you've got multiple people that you don't have to carry the load alone.
Yes. Oh, that's very helpful. Hannah, Jordy, all my pitchers have done such a great job, and I think that all of our pitchers can come in at any time and get the job done, which is awesome. Not only that, but like having a defense behind me, that's huge too. I was kind of lacking that, and when I came here, like my parents kept telling me, like, "Kai, like you're in a good place. Like you have a defense, you have hitters. There's no pressure on you right now. Like you're just coming back." And then I kind of figured that out in the past couple games, and just rolling them ground balls, and like they're making every play that's hit to them. So I think that's also a very big part of like my game is like trusting my defense behind me, because now like I have a very good one.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that's a process that pitchers have to work through too. You don't have to do it alone when you have that kind of defense behind you, that you can trust people to make plays behind you.
Yeah, it's definitely a difference, because I'm coming back and I'm expecting all these strikeouts, and I'm a strikeout pitcher, and then they're not coming. So it's like, you know, it's like kind of heartbreaking when you don't see that happening, but like it also feels really good when you're able to just give them a fly ball or a ground out and they're right there behind you. So.
And then how about the offense that you have backing you up too? I mean, Nebraska softball is one of the best offenses in the country, home run after home run. I mean, that's got to be nice as a pitcher too.
It is amazing. I have never seen anything like this before, but it makes sense. I mean, we're always in the cage hitting, and we have machines that can replicate other pitchers' pitches, and our girls just hit bombs, and it's so cool to see, because like I haven't seen anything like that, and it's nice having it on my side, like on my team now, and not on another team that we have to face.
It's probably not fun throwing them
live.
Yeah,
no,
in practice.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks, but it's challenging. So
is reading on your bio, you have 6 older brothers. Oh my goodness, what was that like?
It was fun. Yeah, I want a big family. Like it was really fun, but it was also like going back to Christmas is hard, because it's like I was telling my parents, it's like they're all just like little like flies. They're like, Kylee, and they're always like teasing me about something, and I get so overwhelmed. But I'm kind of used to it now.
And you had brothers that play baseball, so I guess you're just a diamond sport family?
Yeah, a little bit. That and football. Yeah. And then I also have a brother who's a cheer coach for the USA team. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, we kind of get in
just
everywhere.
a sports family then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What role did that play in you, knowing that, you know, you had 6 older brothers that were all into sports? How did that shape you as an athlete?
I think just always going to their games, I feel like was a big part of it, because when I was at their games, it's not like I was just doing anything. Like me and my dad were always playing catch or taking ground balls, doing something to keep me active. And then I think when we found softball, it was like we could really hone in on it, just like how my dad trained my brothers. He was able to train me like that. And also, I don't know if we're necessarily the most athletic people, but I think like my parents and my brothers have taught me to work hard just for the same outcome. And yeah, I just think it's like it taught me very valuable lessons of just working hard, seeing them accomplish everything that they did.
Oh, that's awesome. So not to bury the lead here, but said you're incredibly talented off the softball field as well. And that was one of the areas that you were looking for when you transferred, is finding something that had softball and your major. Tell us about that and why that was important for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a scary move to begin with. I was at a fashion school, FITM. FITM merged with ASU, and that's like a real fashion school in downtown LA. So it was hard leaving that, because that's what I've always wanted. And I knew coming in the portal, like I had to find that again, because fashion is just such a big part of me. It's hard to do softball without fashion, so they just go together, because I need a break from softball, and sometimes I need a break from fashion, so I go to softball. So that was super important to find somewhere that I could also learn to help with my future.
So the actual major is textiles, merchandising, and fashion design, right?
Yeah.
How did you get into fashion? Where does that interest come from?
My dad works in downtown LA. So there's a big fabric district down there. I don't really know how I honestly got into it. I just remember I wanted a sewing machine. I wanted to try it out, and I did, and I was really good at it. And he was like, well, let's take you downtown LA and get you some fabric. And then you see all the like the colors and all the textiles, and I just like fell in love. And we've been going downtown LA ever since. And yeah, I'm just obsessed with it.
Oh, that's amazing. What do you like to make? What do you like to design, I guess?
Everything. I started with like dresses, and then I started making like all my clothes when I was little, and then I recently started my business after show, and that's all like loungewear and stuff that you wear after your best performance. And I basically just handmade everything, but now I'm gonna start trying to manufacture my stuff so I can sell more. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you just posted on your Instagram. It was awesome. You made a dress. I'm assuming it was for a school project out of like corn stalk, right? Or the parts of the corn.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. That was incredible.
Thank you. So it was a class project, and you're supposed to make something out of like unconventional items, kind of like a Project Runway, like type of competition. And I had this idea for a while, and I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to use it. And I asked my teacher, and he said, no one's ever done it before. And I was kind of shocked because we're literally the Cornhuskers. And so, yeah, I worked on it, and I had this idea in my head, and it came out pretty close to what I was thinking. And, yeah.
Where did you get the material?
So we ordered the corn husk, just like plain corn husk on Amazon. I wish I could, like, ask a farmer, like, if they had corn husk, but I know it's, like, not, I don't know how it works. I don't think it's, like, season, and I didn't have time, but we ended up just getting the corn husk and then spray painting them, putting a little hole in them, and then sewing them to the garment that I made for underneath.
How were they to work with?
They're not easy. They're very brittle, but the spray paint honestly kind of made it better. But I was like very stiff, and like I had to be very careful when I was wearing it.
So what's your process like? Are you a perfectionist? Do you just go with it? Like what do you like when you're making these kinds of designs?
I say for my company, I'm definitely a perfectionist because people are definitely going to wear that. So I want them to look nice in my clothes. But if I'm making it for myself, sometimes I do rush it. So I'm like, oh, I don't care. No one's going to see it. But that one I had to be very careful just because they were like so brittle and like easy to crack. So
how long did it take you?
It was about like 5 class periods spread out.
And were you happy with the final product?
I am happy with the final product. I'm very happy. I wish that some things were a little bit cleaner, but we were out of time and I had to turn in my, dress. But I got 100 on it, so that's good.
Nice. So what happens to it now?
It's on a display case. Yes, and that was like so fun to me because I would tour like colleges and the fashion programs, and they would have their dresses on display cases when I was little, and then seeing mine in one is like very cool.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah. So was it something where you had to think, did you have the design in mind with the husks, or did you have to change the design because of the husks?
It was originally going to be a little bit longer, but we didn't really have enough husks, and I thought it would be kind of cute shorter, so I changed it. But people were making stuff out of like plastic bags and paper clips and like soda cans, so it was definitely a fun project.
How inspiring is that when you're looking around? Like you said, I love the show Project Runway, and it just seems like you could get a lot of inspiration just from your fellow classmates.
Yeah, it was very cool. It definitely made me think outside the box. I feel like I'm not one to usually do that. Like I like starting from scratch and like making it my way, and so this one kind of pushed me because it's like total opposite of what I usually do. But it just shows like how like creative people are with stuff now, and especially like we try to focus on sustainability a lot and like recycling things that we already have around us instead of just wasting something. So yeah, it kind of taught me about that too.
So tell us about your company, the After Show, right?
Yeah.
The thought process behind that, why that was a passion for you to start that line.
Yeah, I thought of the idea last year, and I think I just injured my wrist, and I thought of it. And I didn't know it, but it was like, it just saved me through last year. Like, that's how I got through my season, was after show, because I would immediately get home, work on the online website, like think of the patterns, what I wanted to make. And I was scared coming here because I didn't know if I could still do it. And then my mom was like, yeah, you can. So I was like, okay. So I started it last year, and it's just been so fun ever since.
Wow. What does that say about, this program here at Nebraska? I mean, people might think, oh, you can't do fashion at Nebraska, but that you're able to do both here.
It means a lot. And my teammates just help me with everything. Like, if I post something, they're immediately going to repost and, like, hype me up on it. And it's just so cool. And, yeah, I mean, even coming here, I didn't know if, like, Nebraska was a big fashion school, but, I mean, it is. And I think it's always just what you make out of it. And I try to make, I mean, my whole life, like my whole basement, like I literally have my whole sewing studio in there. So I surround myself with it, which is good. So.
Do you have people constantly asking you to make them stuff?
Yeah. The problem is time. I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to a young athlete that is interested in multiple things and balancing and being passionate about things outside of sports?
Do it. That was one of the like most important pieces of advice I feel like my travel coach told me is like, don't go to a school just because they're good at softball. Go to a school if they have your major, because softball's not going to last forever, and especially for women, like we need something outside of our sport that we can do for the rest of our lives. So I feel like learning fashion in school is just so important because it's already taught me so much, but I can easily like enter a job in the fashion industry and be ready for it.
So what are your hopes then for after show?
I want it to be huge. The next step is manufacturing, and it's a pretty penny. So, I mean, it's definitely worth it though, but I just think it's a great idea and I believe in it. And I know like I'm just as hard of a worker in after show that I am for softball. So only good things can come from it.
You said this earlier, but I feel like it's a good message too, is just having that balance that, you know, you have an escape from softball when that pressure can be too much, or if you're maybe overthinking things in the fashion, you have softball to go to. It's just, it makes you to have something that both of them you can go to.
Yeah, yeah. And after show is literally like clothing to like escape like the on the field. It's like everything after your best performance. So like me going home, getting in bed, putting lotion on, like feeling all girly, like that's the best part of my day. It's not necessarily going to practice every day, you know? And I feel like that's what after show is for, so.
Do you like doing all the concepts around it, not just designing the clothes, but the marketing, the logo, or the catchphrase that you just said, after the show? And do you enjoy all that part of it too?
Yeah, I mean, I do everything, like from scratch, everything. So it's very hard, but it's so fun because I know like I did that. Like no one else did it for me. So it's gonna be a little bit of an adjustment having someone else make my clothes, even though I'm still designing it, but I need it in order to grow my business, you know? I feel like a big part is like, I need people that I want like modeling my clothes. Like I need them to influence for me because that's really big in like selling your products too, is like just getting the product out there to be seen.
Do you have to balance too, maybe wanting to do all the things and then pulling back and maybe being really good at a couple things, you know, or?
Yeah, that's something I had to learn. That's literally the process I'm going through now because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any product to sell right now. I'm in the middle of season. So now I'm just gonna focus more on like the designing aspect and the marketing, and someone else is gonna be making it. So yeah.
Okay, if someone's listening in, interested in looking you up, maybe getting more information, where do they go?
Aftershowapparel.com. Or you can look on my Instagram. My main one's Kylee Magee 31, and then my after show's After Show Apparel, I'm pretty sure.
And you can, while you're on the Instagram, you can see the awesome corn husk dress.
Yes,
it's all up there too.
Yep, yeah.
That's so great. What a cool side, I guess, or what, I guess
side gig,
not even side gig, you know,
job. It's a job
is
now.
Both part of you. That is so cool that you don't always come across that. Well, let's circle back and talk softball. You guys are in the heat of the Big Ten conference, just going on the road at Iowa this weekend. Just what's the focus for this team? How do you guys feel like you're playing going into this series at Iowa?
I think we're looking for the sweep. I can't lie. I think we're excited for that. But I think we go into every series wanting the sweep because I think we know how good we are. So, yeah, but we're excited for this. We're excited for this series for sure. Yeah.
It seems like you all just have so much fun when you're out there. How much fun is it playing a sport as a Nebraska Cornhusker?
It's so fun. And I think the more I get out of my head, the more fun it gets. And the more I'm able to interact with my teammates and just literally just have fun out there, and not putting so much pressure on myself. And because this team, we're so good. Like I have backup every which way. So yeah.
Is that too just a process of learning, setting goals for yourself, but then maybe when you're working through an injury, understanding, giving yourself some grace?
Yeah, it was a big part. I didn't even know, but I had so many goals in my head that I thought I was going to achieve this year. But like, I just started pitching in January, so I don't know if any of those goals are necessarily achievable, but I'm still going to work to get them. So yeah, I definitely had to like back off myself a little bit and just focus like pitch by pitch, getting better week by week kind of thing.
Well, how much have you enjoyed then being here at Nebraska?
I've enjoyed it a lot, so much. It's so different, but I think I needed to experience being away from home and being around different girls and a different culture and everything. Yeah.
How about the atmosphere out at Bowlin Stadium?
Oh, it's nice.
You guys get
so many fans.
Nice showing, even in cold weather games.
Yes, and I love Kevin with his Go Big Red and Husker Power, and that's just so cool. Like, I don't know if that's just a Midwest thing or like, I don't know, but we definitely didn't have anything like that of like just fans just like dying to see you and like wanting to be a part of it so bad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It was great chatting with you. Best of luck this weekend and moving forward, but appreciate you spending some time with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Again, Kylee Magee, pitcher for Nebraska softball. Go follow her on all of her social media platforms. Big things ahead for Kylee Magee. This has been Husker Women's Wednesday, powered by Emeritus. Emeritus is proud to power this podcast and all of Husker women's sports. Thanks for listening and watching. I'm Jessica Coody with the Huskers Radio Network.